How does it go? What is up, my Cheerios? Today this is a video, it's very important if you looked at the title. So what it is I work with the VHP program, and it's very significant because, as in the last video, we were talking about making a difference. We were talking about honoring our brothers and sisters and being able to come to the forefront. So I want to put it out there. We'll wait for some of our soul family to come in here, and then we'll get started on what this is all about. It's very significant. It could be life-changing, and we'll get more into it here in a minute. So let me get a drink. And anybody who is organic water, go with the flow, baby. Go with the flow. It's the organic water with all your vitamins and help your immune system and everything. Alrighty. Let's get into this. So the VIP project is the Veterans History Project. Now, anybody who has family, siblings, whatever it may be, that served from World War I to current, to current, any type of peacekeeping missions, future, missions that have come up or whatnot. May 28th, down in the description is my email. This is very significant to give recognition to your veterans, who may have lost their life during service, have things, information, their experiences, the different things that took place in that, so that we can get it in the history books in order to have their story told, what they went through, what really happened during their time of service. This is to get on the warrior wall. This means that you will sign consent forms. It takes about 30 minutes for the interview, but it will be in the history textbooks in the classrooms. Your family will have that recognition of what they lived through, what they did. I have consent forms that you will sign that will, if you have any memorabilia to show. And I'll give you a kind of brief of some of the items, because if you have like photos, let's see where to go. Because we'll do the geographical part of it. We'll do their history, what branch, what service, and everything that they were in, the location of their military service. Thank you, Packing King. I greatly appreciate you. I'm doing great. So this VHP thing that I am doing, it will put your family in the history textbooks. Okay, and like I said, their branch of service, their wartime, what their activity was, their highest rank, their division, their platoon, their group, if they were on a ship in the Navy, whatever it may be. But this is honoring our veterans who served from World War I into the current, or any peacekeeping, mission that you did. We will do the interview on May 28th. So go down in the description and email me if you want your family to be part of history, where it is actually put in the textbooks on how your family served, what they went through, what changes, what they saw, of what was going on. I will have you sign release forms, because we will do a recorded interview. And what this does is, even if the veteran, became deceased during the service, if they have any medallions, any, of their military attire, the thing is it can be written down in history. Just as growing up, as we saw, these different colonels and stuff being in the history books, this is me putting your family history in them history books. This is honoring our vets, because this is Memorial Weekend, right? And so this is where we want to be able to put it out there. So like I said, you will sign consent forms saying that you give consent for this to go to the Library of Congress in order to be put on the Warrior Wall, to have your family's information to show their achievements, their warriorism that they have. Yes, go ahead, Yama. Go ahead and ask. And we will do the video recordings and live. We will do the digital, but we will also take down, the different things. No, I'm not going to do that. Sorry. I'm not going to say that. But the thing is this is for your family to become part of history so that your family legacy lives on. Whether it's your grandparents, your great-grandparents, whether it's your father, your mother, whether it's you, whether it's a sibling, whether they went in for, like a peacekeeping mission and stuff like that. It is time to be recognized and put in history. And so when we're talking about this, we will go into a little bit of discussion, like from World War I on forward, on how times have changed, when it became the canned foods and all of that, and how food processed and everything. Namaste, Manava. Namaste. Your photographs will be shared in the history books, okay? And this is to be able to take what your family endured, what they went through, what they felt, what they saw, what their mission was, and the things that they were doing to make this world a better place, right? So it's like a lot of people don't understand that you can have these in the history books with the data sheets and stuff, and the memoirs, the letters, any diaries that they may have written, love letters, or, letters to the family, or anything, flags, whether they, crossed over and had a military service and they have the flag in the shadow box. Hi, Manava. Okay, so what I'm talking about is I do what is called the VHP project. So anybody who was in the military from World War I to current here and now, any peacekeeping missions, if you want to be in the history books, if you want your names to be in the history books, I am doing the interviews for the Library of Congress, okay? I'm doing interviews on May 28th. Each of you will get a packet like this during the interview, and it goes through a dialogue, any memorabilia, any diaries, letters, pictures, anything, their uniforms, what they were in, whether they were in, the mechanical part of it, whatever they were doing, okay? Eli, you need to be respectful, please. That's very immature when we're trying to honor our vets, because it's Memorial Weekend and it's bringing their memories and putting it in history. Okay. So when it comes to it, it's like any stories that your family has passed down in the military, what may have made you go into the military. But the big thing is the do's and don'ts, okay? These all have to be original material, okay? There cannot be no copied. It has to be, thank you, Manava, I greatly appreciate you. It cannot be copied material. It has to be original, whether they had, their awards like the Purple Hearts or whatever it may be, or if they're a gold member. The thing is it has to be the unedited material. It has to be the raw record of what they used and what they did when they were serving. And to me, it's beautiful because it's a way to put your family's history in the history books for the next generations that come in history class, and they will read about your family. They will read about what they stood for, what they did, what they served for, and what their mission was. it will also be able to help the veterans get more, because it's like the more awareness that we do to this and the more that we bring, okay, all right, that's beautiful. So hello Elizabeth, welcome sweetheart. So the thing is it's going to help your veterans who have served, whether, from World War I all the way up to current, like Desert Storm, whatever portion that you served, and in any peacekeeping, missions or stuff like that. The fact is we're bringing more service to the veterans, okay? Because they need that recognition. They need to go in the history books, because it's for them that we have our freedom. It's for them serving and them dying on the battlefield. They need to be in the history books. And so, like I said, May 28th, anybody who has any family that has served, I will give you a packet like this when we do the interview, okay? And we go through a process. Like I said, you will sign consent forms, because what this is doing is we are taking this interview stuff. I send it all in to our Library of Congress. We have that meeting with them, all the original documents, uniforms, whatever it may be, pictures and stuff like that, which I have my father's stuff. But we put them in there. We put them in the history books. Now, when it comes to the Gold Star, okay, whether you're a Gold Star parent, spouse, sibling, whatever it may be, same thing. It's like, even if you took notes of what was passed down to you and stuff like that, you took notes from what they were saying and stuff, you can do the interview, okay? Yes, Elizabeth. And so what we can do is, what I'm saying is, by doing the interview and signing the consent forms and doing a recorded interview, we are getting you put in the history books that will be in all the high schools for the next generations to come, second, third, fourth generations to come. It will be the history that your family served, what they did, how they helped, and how the name will be having that recognition, because they deserve that. They need to be honored like that, right? And this is why it's important to, if you've got the original documentation of, like I said, where they served, what was their war operation, what was the conflict going on, what was the military service that they were in, what medals of service did they get, what was their special duties. I mean, it goes in. Okay, yes, definitely email me, sweetheart, because this is important to get them, and they will be on the warrior wall. So when you go to Washington, you will see their name listed as that warrior, as that history piece, and their name will go in history for many and hundreds of years to come. Okay? Yes, and so, like, if you have any photographs or anything like that, because I know, like, my father, he served in the 55th platoon. He was the missiles and war mechanic when it came to that type of stuff. But the thing is after we get all of your information in the interview and we submit it to Karen at the Library of Congress, they will put everything on a CD for you, on the history book of knowing, okay? Of knowing, you will get everything on a CD so that you will have that memory, and you will be able to pass it on to your family to show that this is true documentation by the government. You are now in the history book with your family, okay? Okay, so let me see here. We don't need somebody. We're trying to honor anybody who served in the military. So don't come in here being disrespectful. Okay? Don't be disrespectful to our veterans. That's not right. So we will also make sure that we have set up recorded equipment, and we can also choose, like during the interview, there'll be some questions in there to ask, where we will also take a trip to Washington, where you get to go into the Library of Congress and have your picture for the one posting the information as the writer, as the note taker, to be able to put your family's information up there if that's what you want. Okay, Jonathan, yes. So anybody who is interested, on May 28th here, next week, I will be doing it takes about 30 minutes for the interview, because we have to have certain things directly from the Library of Congress, okay? They ask certain criterias, recordings. Like I said, you'll sign consent forms, but you will also get the DVD of showing which textbook that they put it in, so that you know, because it will be in all the high schools, all the elementary schools when it comes to learning history, okay? And this, we'll just take a, let's see. Yeah. So anybody who's being disrespectful when we're talking about the veterans is pretty sad, because they're the reason that has made it possible for your freedom. They are the ones that went in and battled. They're the ones that have gone in and lost their life. So salute to our veterans, respect them, okay? All right. So then when it comes to the gold stars, okay, so this is like a little shorter version of it, but we do the gold stars. We also do the Native American, and stuff like that. So it's being put in all the history. Now, I want to give a shout out to my good friend Deb. Yesterday, her and we went and explored the history from 1820 to 1829 or 27, I believe it was. And it's beautiful. Yes, Elizabeth. Yes, they are not showing enough respect, and they don't get enough help. They go over there in mint condition, perfect bodies, and some come back fully disabled. And this is being able to honor them veterans, and to let people know that they are victorious, that they are somebody that should be respected, because they went over there and they sacrificed everything to make sure. Yes. And see, and my son's, he was in high school, he was in the ROTC, he marched with them all the time. I mean, it's like our family, my grandfather, my father was in the Korean War, my grandfather and great uncles and stuff, they, from World War I on forward, and this is what has intrigued me. We don't discriminate, Altair. Okay, so I'm gonna ban you from here, because we can't have you being racial and stuff like that. That's just not right. We're talking about veterans that need to be honored. Okay, yeah, so yours was Vietnam too. Yeah, mine was Vietnam, and his best friend died of Agent Orange, So this is things, whoops, sorry. Let me, ding. Can't get it here. Let me see if I can move it down. It's, yes, absolutely. And if I mistakenly erase somebody's comment, no, I'm putting a block on, these people who are being rude and disrespectful to our veterans, because it's the ignorance of not understanding the importance of what they did in order to have that freedom. Okay, sports, yes, salute to our veterans, because To me, it's important to be able to know what they went through, because when you look at it, the ones who were in World War I, they didn't even have canned foods at that time. That was just a thing that was starting to come in, right? I've done a lot of interviews on that, and a lot of them say that at the time there was not even canned food. Okay, so then when canned food became to come in, then they could ration it out more. Yes, absolutely. And this is why I find that our own brothers and sisters in this world do not have that respect for our veterans and everything that they have fought for, the lives that they had lost. Some come back because some of the things that they've seen are so detrimental to their health of what they witnessed, having to carry their team members off the battlefield in pieces. It's sad. Thank you, Christine. I greatly appreciate you. That's right. They didn't come back the same. And, some of them physically, mentally impaired. Like I said, some of them have nightmares. Some of them, that have come back from war have lost relationships because of the trauma that they have witnessed. This is not something that is easy, but with doing this on like I said, May 28th, I do the VHP project, and anybody who served in World War I up to current or any peacekeeping mission, I'm doing interviews. It takes about 30 minutes. So if you want it, down in the description is my email. We'll set up your time for May 28th, okay, and do the interview. Now, like I said, it has to be original. Like if you have the original documentation, original pictures, original uniforms, awards, anything like that you want to put in that history book with it. Like I said, it's not just history for the United States. It's history for around the world. It will be in every history textbook. Every history textbook. So your family name that served will be known and carried on for their service. They will be carried on. Thank you, Christine. I greatly appreciate you. Yes, I greatly appreciate you. And so this is, when it comes to it, it's like if you have any letters that they may have written, any journals, any original material. Like I said, this is going to be around the world in the history books. Everybody around the world is going to see your family members being honored. And then in Washington, they will also be put on the warrior wall as that recognized veteran, because I feel that a lot of our veterans, they don't get recognized. They get overlooked, right? They get overlooked, and it's time to put them in the history books. It's time to put it in there. So by doing that, we take the true materials that come from it, and they even ask, like, what kind of education did you have to go through in the military? Did you go through any type of certain college or anything like that, training? Did they go through any of that? And it's to see in the history how over time things have changed. Okay, Abyss, yes. And here's the thing. This is your chance to not be overlooked. This is your chance to let people know that you serve, to let people know that your family name is of importance, okay? And I don't know how you keep getting back in here, but here, hold on. Hold on. We're not going to have you being disrespectful to our... There we go. I'm not going to have you being disrespectful, because these are families who have gone through massive change when their family members come through. Okay? Yeah. So anyways, this is what I'm saying. So when you look at it, all the different branches. It's important if your family is a generational veteran, you know how it carried on in the family, where you kind of just kept it going throughout the family. That is going to be something massive, because that will be written down in the interview, and it will be correlated in the history books that not only did it start here, but it carried on. And you know, a few of my friends, they started in as a private and turned it up to be the sergeant, you know, so, or the captain of their platoon. So it's beautiful to honor them, right? Now the thing is, with this, there are many different areas that are working with us on this. Okay, there's a lot of, because it's like I said, it's going to be in the college textbooks too. This is nothing to take lightly. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, well that is, you know, big guy gamer. This is not made for children, okay? So this is for anybody 18 and older. So if you're under 18, you can exit now, because what you are doing is you are disrespecting my soul family and their family members who have served in order for you to have your freedom. So we pray for you, sweetheart, but move along, please. Yes, then you need to get out of here, because this is not for 18 and under. No, this is not for 18 and under. So anyways, soul family, that's what I wanted to come on. Anybody who wants to give your family, your veteran, you know, if they came through it and they've got the scars, they've got shrapnel, whatever it may be, or they just went through, you know, massive nightmares or whatever it may be. Like I said, let's set up the interview and get your family name in around the world history books, because they deserve it. They salute to them. Okay. And it's coming up that, thank you. Okay. So I just got, it is coming up July of 2026. We are going to be celebrating 250 years of that independence. So thank you to the ones who have served, you know, the ones who have come out. No, you will never be my moderator. Sorry. I've only got 2 moderators and they do an excellent job. So thank you. Be respectful, please. Be respectful. I've only got 2 moderators. The thing is if you look at it, these people who were veterans were so qualified to do this very diligent work, right? And what happens? They go, they serve, they come back, and they get treated so poorly that the only thing that our government can do is make them homeless, make them a meet and greet type of person. No, they deserve way more respect than that. They deserve way more respect than that, because I know in our community, I see about 20 to 50 veterans, which I've talked to them personally, you know, like I said, the one, he come from the Korean War, okay, and he still had shrapnel in his leg and everything, and he was just trying to survive. It's like he was losing everything, and nobody wanted to help him. This is where we got to make that change. People need to come forward. Absolutely, Christine. They deserve it. They deserve it over anything, because they go in and their life is changed forever. But when they come back, no, you should be honoring the veterans. You should be honoring our veterans who serve for us, not putting them in poverty, not treating them like they're nothing. That is so disgusting to me, and we need to change that. Alter, listen, I removed you from here. You are under 18. You need to go, okay? Nobody under the age of 18. You are disrespecting our veterans, and it's not right. Sports card, yes. Thank you. Thank you for your father's service, because it's because of him of why we have our freedom. Each one who has served, you try to make it a better place. And that's not saying that politicians, the things that are going on, we're not going to get into that. What my thing is I do interviews to get your family in the history. They need that recognition that they served. They need that recognition that they served, and then they were treated like dogs. Okay? The loyalty was no longer there after they came back. This is what we're talking about. Because in the interview, it talks just about that. How were they treated differently from when they were there? What changed? Everything. It goes in detail. And this is for your family. Yes, Ice Phoenix. Yes. Amen. Because anybody who has served, May 28th, they take about 30 minutes. If you want to do an interview, you want to get this in the history books around the world, from the Library of Congress, your family, siblings, you, whoever it may be. If you want it in there, go down in that description, hit that little more, it will pop up. You will see my Earth Angel, Earth 44 Healing Angel. Go down there, click on that, and let me know that you want to set up an interview on May 28th. And you have to have original documentation, okay? You have to have the original documentation, and each packet that I have comes from the Library of Congress and them, in order to make sure that it's specifically your family, your consent forms, everything to deal with you, okay? Robert, don't come in here being disrespectful. It just saddens my heart to see such ignorant people being so selfish when we're talking about our veterans who serve. You know how many children have lost their parents for serving? Yeah, this is what I'm saying. It's so sad that our world is so focused on being disrespectful to the people who gave them their freedom. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it just saddens my heart, because you know how many children on a basis that lose out time with their loved one because they are doing something most honorable for all of us. It is a selflessness act that they are doing by going over there to serve, and you guys want to come in and be disrespectful. So it's like, I just want you to know, I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep honoring our vets, whether it's from World War I all the way into the current, into any peacekeeping missions that it may be. It's about honor. It's about honoring them. Your family members, your brothers, your sisters, your siblings, your loved ones. It's about honoring them and giving them recognition, because they deserve it. They deserve it. They don't deserve to be hidden and be a no name when it comes to being a veteran. They need to shine. They need to be on that warrior wall, because they were a warrior. Tom, my family has already served. Thank you. Yes, we greatly appreciate you. Okay, well, Robert, I rebuke you in Jesus' almighty name, because you're just being disrespectful. Sports card, yes. Salute to your father for serving. We greatly appreciate him, and he's a warrior. And if there's anything that you want to submit, or your mother or anybody in your family who is 18 and older who wants to submit on an interview, let's give him the recognition. Let's give him that honor. Let's stand up for him. Well, you're not really showing it, Altar, okay? You're not being respectful when it comes to being a soldier, so we greatly appreciate you. Yes, Veronica, I will continue because I believe that everybody who has served needs to have that recognition. They deserve it. They've been put away. They've been pushed down. They've been hidden. They've been mistreated. You know, they don't get the proper service that they need, and it's time to take a stance for that. Thank you, Tom, for your service. Thank you, all of the Soul family who is in here, who has served, who is continuing to serve. We greatly appreciate you. We greatly appreciate you, Soul family. So that is what I have for this message. And yeah, honor our vets. Salute to all of you. It is Memorial Weekend. And let's get them on that Wounded Warriors wall so that their name can shine through history around the world, so that they can be known for years and hundreds of years to come. Okay? Much love. Greatly appreciate all of you. Sending lots of love and light. And again, salute to our veterans. We appreciate everything that you have done, and we will stand up for you. We will bring that shine back to you because you deserve it. So, peace.